What's up, guys? We're here at AMC Town Square with Chasing Cinema.
Mr. James, shoot!
.com. And we're here to talk and review about...
Can You Ever Forgive Me?
Yes.
Yes. Based on a true story, Lee Israel, the author, wasn't selling a lot of her books. Wasn't selling her biography about Fanny Bryce.
Not Hannah Grace.
No, not Hannah Grace, which we did review, though. You can check that out right now. Can You Ever Forgive Me has been out for a little bit, so this might have been a little bit of a delayed review, but so much comes out, you know, we try to catch up. And this is a movie, again, true story about an author, Lee Israel, who wasn't selling her works and her biographies about entertainment stars and things like that. And she was living in an apartment, couldn't take care of her cat, couldn't get food fed. So what did she decide to do? She decided to start copying literary letters to sell them to make money. And this is based on a true story of an author who just recently passed away.
When does this take place?
This takes place in the 90s.
Okay.
I believe, I want to say 94 for some reason, but it is earlier in the 90s. Fax machines are a really big part of this movie. But, I mean, it's a really, Melissa McCarthy, who if you've been following our channel, you know, like, every time she does a movie, I'm like, I love Melissa McCarthy, but usually the movie's not great for her. She's definitely let us down. And I know that there's like these roles out here for her, and she's done a few that I think have done a really good job. But this is her at a whole new level.
That good?
And I don't want to say the fact that it's not because it's her and her husband's movie and it's someone else's.
Probably is not.
But it might have something to do with it. I really love this movie. I think this is one of her strongest, if not her strongest performances yet. She really Melissa McCarthy is one of those actors that is so prominent that it's hard to lose her in a character, usually because her characters are so eccentric and you just know like that's Melissa McCarthy's always really over the top.
Shtick.
But Melissa McCarthy very early on in this movie disappears and Lee Israel surfaces and you totally really buy it. It's equally funny in a dark humor type of sense, as well it is kind of depressing. It is like this really, especially being someone who writes, like you could really kind of connect to this idea that this person lives in this apartment, goes home to sit at a typewriter all day and just can't get it out and just can't write. And even though she's managed to publish some stuff, it's not things people want to read, and especially for someone who wants to not write fiction but write nonfiction about film, like I'm like, ooh, man, I relate to this a little bit too much, you know? And it is just this kind of really sad thing about someone who feels so defeated and then kind of finding this really interesting niche. For all my literary nerds, like this movie is great. I'm a huge Dorothy Parker fan, one of my favorite poets, one of my favorite writers, and she's one of the authors that she starts copying and writing for. And there's this really great moment where she starts writing whole letters from these authors that don't exist prior, because originally she starts just copying them or adding to them. And she makes this comment that she's a better Dorothy Parker than Dorothy Parker. And some of the letters are really like dead on. And obviously these are the real letters that Lee Israel wrote, not, you know, these aren't made up. But I mean, it is pretty fascinating how well she was able to imitate different authors, so many different authors of their age. And that's something for more like, you know, the literary audience. But for a general moviegoer, I think this movie really develops a great character that you really feel for, you really kind of want to see win, even if it is in a dirty way. Richard E. Grant, the classic British comedian actor from With Noel and I, plays kind of her, not her best friend, but her equal, another person who has kind of made their way in not the straightest form, and who is quick and witty, and they just have this love-hate relationship. More of, they're stuck together because of their circumstances and just who they are. They're not such great people. And their relationship builds off that. They don't really care for each other, but they know that that's the only type that each other are the only people that they'll ever meet that will be able to stand one another. And I think that is a really great dynamic that goes throughout the entire movie. One of my favorites of the year for sure. Really kind of falls on the shoulders of Miss McCarthy and her performance. You know, like it's not a movie that pushes boundary in terms of technicality or anything like that, but the chemistry between Richard E. Grant and Melissa McCarthy and just the overall performance that she gives really makes it one of my favorites of the year. One of my favorite performances of the year too. Just a really smart, witty, funny movie in a, like I said, in of course a dark humor sense of way, but a really touching movie at heart.
So would you say, and maybe it's too early, but why not?
Okay.
Would you say that you would, it sounds like you're saying that this is better than The Possession of Hannah Grace.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. It might be a bit early. I would say that from just off the top of my head, Well, I don't think Richard E. Grant stands out too much. He's been in the game a long time, and he's really good in this movie. I think you could see him maybe getting a supporting nod.
No.
For sure. I think, there is a lot I still need to see, but I like if that happened, it doesn't shock me. There's always that kind of tribute, supporting nod that happens, and I think Richard E. Grant's up there for one. Do I see Melissa McCarthy? I feel like there are going to be a lot better performances out there, but I would be completely fine if they nominate her for her. I don't think she probably will win, but I think her performance is that good, and I think it really kind of shows that while she is the girl who's known for dressing up like these really eccentric, sometimes tattered down women like in Tammy, like she was able to do that and not be funny and really kind of bring it to life. And I think that's a really amazing talent. I wish she would do that more.
Her husband's holding her down.
Her husband's in this movie too, though. Ben,
oh, really?
Yeah, Ben, of course, makes an appearance as another sleazeball character, and that's also good. But just seeing that, I just was like, man, I wonder if she really stuck with drama. What kind of performances would she get? And
that's what Tom Hanks did.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think her heart is in comedy, just because, obviously that's what the movies she kind of wants to make. But if anything, this movie just shows us that she is way more versatile than that slapstick physical comedian.
I love it.
Check it out, for sure.
It looks like next week might be a break.
Might be.
Don't
We'll
hold
see.
your breath on that.
We usually make a way.
Keep you on your toes.
Yeah.
But if we don't have a movie, well, either way, follow this guy and myself on Instagram
Absolutely.
or YouTube
and
or
if
whatever.
there is a break next week, which there might not be, we're back on the 14th with Mortal Engines, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and The Favorite, another movie that is going to be Oscar talk with Emma Stone. So.
Oh, that actually looks good to me, or it looks looks entertaining to me.
Yeah, so that's one to definitely check out. But we'll be back here at AMC Town Square at 10 o'clock. Make sure to text this guy at 702.
348-5618.
Or follow him on all the social media channels as well as me to find out whatever's going on, because we're always doing stuff, and it's not always at the movies.
And 2019 is exciting.
2019's got a lot of changes. A lot of things are going to be changing in the next year, and we're excited for the next year for sure.
We're going to take things to new depths.
Yeah, but before that, we got a lot of great movies to watch. Aquaman, Bumblebee, all the movies that we named for the 14th. I mean, there's a lot. Mary Poppins, there's a lot of stuff coming out, and we want you to be here at the movies with us.
It'll be fun.
Absolutely.
ChaseTheSmell.com,
The Film Lovers website.